we have a shitload of Gotchard news. And when I say a shitload of Gotchard news, I want you to know that I'm not lying. I'm not joking about this. It's a literal shitload of Gotchard news. So if you don't want spoilers, I would mute me for the next 10 minutes because this will probably be a large segment. But Gotchard's going to be kicking into high gear in some aspects in the next couple episodes. And we know this because we have the toy listings up to March for Kamen Rider Gotchard. So the next, I guess that would be 12-ish episodes, right? 12-ish episodes. And Soul Caesar on Twitter broke this down for us, what this all means. So we're going to go through each of these and see what the toy listings reveal about our little Kamen Rider friend. First up, Kamen Rider Gotchard in November. Hotaro will use the X, or the Cross Gotchicaliber, a blue and red cross sword that uses level 10 cards to evolve him into Kamen Rider Super Gotchard. His first form is UFO X, the level 10 of Occult Chemi, and then X Rex, the level 10 of Ancient Chemi. And here's a nice drawing of the cross sword, which Kaiza or the Ride Booker or Neo Saban ass name. What should we call? You think they made the sword first or they named it first? You think they made the sword and then we're like, what should we call it? What does it look like to you? Oh. Yeah, we should definitely call it the Slicer Saber. How about the cross sword? And then this screenshot, the UFO. November part 2. Renee will use an attachment item over the Gotchard driver for her own personal driver. It'll come with a new alchemist ring, and she'll use the Nine Tails and Happy Clover for her base form, becoming the series' second rider so far. And this is what it supposedly is going to look like. It has the attachment on the top. It will use her ring, her alchemy ring, and it will use the Happy Clover. A couple things about this. One, I don't like that it'll use the Happy Clover, because the Happy Clover right now is used by Klothos? Is that her name? Whichever one I have like a weird affinity for. It's used by her. So I hope she doesn't die. I hope that she just like gives up this card or like loses it somehow. But the other thing is, this is an attachment to the Gotchard driver. It is not a new driver. It is a new driver in the show, yes, but Bandai has finally done it. They finally did it. Not only were they like, you've been asking for it, we're going to give you a female secondary. They also went with a catch. With a catch. The catch is that you have to buy the main driver if you want the secondary driver, because the secondary driver, just an attachment. Just an attachment. Deal? Deal. Compromise. We gave you your girl secondary. Now buy the main driver, bitches. It's insane to me, but they did it. So if you want it, there you go. It is crazy when the Desire driver was literally like everybody's driver last year, and they were just like, here's the Gotchard driver, but you only get one real thing, real combination included with the Gotchard driver. And then if you want the secondary driver, you have to buy this and an attachment to it. They're just raking in the cash. They have figured it out. buy this plastic bitch. Toei's like, buy it. We'll keep making Rider as long as you keep paying. Next up is November Part 3. The Alchemy Academy students will get a mass-produced driver that any of them can use. Not much is known about this item, but I believe it only uses one card. Did you guys catch that? Sorry. We have one Kamen Rider right now. That is Kamen Rider Gotchard. We are in November getting Rine with her own driver. And then we're getting another driver for all the alchemy students. And this picture, like these three are the alchemy students. This is the alchemy teacher. So I don't know if he'll use it as well. But it's crazy that they're like, these three, all Kamen Riders. Because I can tell you, when I started watching this show, the people that I didn't think would be Kamen Riders is one, the bootleg black market Chemi card girl, and two, the dude who was supposed to speak through AI, but now the AI is its own character. So that's why I never believed producers' notes before the show, but now he like doesn't talk much and the AI just talks over him. So they're going to use the driver. I think it would be obvious to think that Rina can use the driver as well. But I don't know if Minato will use it. I have my own theories about Minato and where that whole thing is going, especially based on the opening of it. Hope she doesn't become a rider, but if she does, I hope Toei doesn't do what Revice did where Sakura becomes a rider and now there wasn't no main female side character. Well, like, these are all the characters in Gotchard anyways. So, like, they just said, hey, if Minato becomes a rider, all of our characters are riders, besides the one friend. November Part 4, the premium Bandai item this year is the Dread driver. It'll transform a user, we don't know who, into Kamen Rider Dread, using its own variant of Hopper 1. The rider is skeletal-like and compared to that of Skullman, with a helmet similar to the Predator in shape. And if you've seen this week's episode already, I think that this is going to be Valvarad. This is going to be Valvarad for a little bit. So, but yeah. Have a Skullman-like body with a Predator head. He doesn't have a Predator in here, but anyone that knows Predator, like, crazy-ass head. I would assume Valvarad. I feel like if it was Valvarad, it might just said that. Like, this week's episode leads me to believe it's Valvarad, but also I think he might be a good bet. December Part 1 is Hotaro and Spanner will share an item that attaches to the Gotchard driver called the Gotchard Igniter. By the way, Spanner getting a Gotchard driver, if you didn't figure that out by reading this. Hotaro and Spanner will share an item that attaches to the Gotchard driver called the Gotchard Igniter. When Hotaro uses it with Steam Hopper, it gives him a stronger Steam Hopper. When Valvarad uses it with two unknown cards, he evolves. So just like here, they put here, kind of like a dead heat situation, kind of like a hazard trigger situation. But Spanner is also getting a driver. So that's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 riders by December. 7 riders by maybe the beginning of December for this show that was like, man, Kamen Rider, a special thing. There's only going to be one for a while. February. It skips all of January. Maybe nothing cool happens in January. We'll skip that completely. Wait, isn't it Sorta Driver? No, it's a transformation item, but it doesn't he's not counted as a Kamen Rider. For February, a special level 10 version of Steamliner called 10-Liner will appear, and Hotaro can use it in the Gotchard driver to become Gotchard 10-Liner. It comes with an item and costs 4,400 yen. And then March, a special level 10 version of Hopper 1 called Cross Hopper, because of course it is, will appear. Hotaro can use Cross Hopper and 10-Liner together to gain Kamen Rider Gotchard Steam Hopper 10 or Steam Hopper Cross. Maybe Hotaro makes Crosshopper. Maybe he upgrades. Maybe he makes a new Kemi of his own. Maybe he upgrades his little best friend Kemi that he has. Who knows? That's all that's happening in Gotchard through March, or the beginning of March at least, which is insane. That's an insane amount of information to have. And just, do you guys understand that we're getting 7 riders in the next couple months? In the next 8 episodes, we're getting 7 riders. No news on Legend, but we'll know next week because that's when the thing comes out, right? That's when the TTFC special comes out? I don't know. I think it does. If not, if the Legend and the Dawn Brothers TTFC specials don't come out next week, then there probably won't be a Toku Tuesday night next week. When we not have a Kamen Rider season with 599 riders, they were like, "Oh, you don't like all the drivers. We get it. We'll stop doing so many drivers, but we're still gonna have 8 riders. We're still gonna throw in 8 riders, okay?"